Hello everyone, let's talk about single sign-on today. Single sign-on or SSO as it is called is used when you want to access multiple applications or services using a single login ID and password. There are typically two usage patterns for single sign-on. Let's start by understanding them one by one. Consider a typical day in life of employee Jessica, who gets to her organization and has to access several applications to perform her job role. While accessing each of the applications, she is asked for credentials. To memorize different credentials and maintaining them over time by things like password change and resets is a considerable overhead. That brings us to the first usage pattern of single sign-on, which is identity provider driven single sign-on. Now consider only a single identity provider like IBM Security Verify, which Jessica can log into, and that would in turn enable her accesses on multiple applications. Let's see another usage pattern, service provider initiated single sign-on. Here, an employee directly tries to access an application like Outlook, let's say. Now, as part of login process, they are directed back to the organization's login page, and using the organization's login credentials, employees can then seamlessly access the internet applications. Now let's talk about single sign-on implementation in context of IBM Security Verify. For single sign-on to work, we need three essential things: a user who logs in, an internet application to log on to, and an identity provider which stores and verifies identities. IBM Security Verify provides capabilities to work with identity sources from its native providers like Cloud Directory to SAML and OIDC Enterprise, on-premise directory servers, and other social identity providers too. IBM Security Verify provides a launchpad which acts like a one-stop shop for launching different applications via single sign-on. New applications can be registered via account lifecycle flows, and users can independently raise requests to these applications according to their roles and responsibilities in the organization. Once logged into IBM Security Verify, users can directly navigate to different target applications from ISV Launchpad without the need of providing any additional credentials. IBM Security Verify supports 500 plus out-of-the-box applications to connect to using both SAML and OpenID Connect protocols, and then there is support provided for configuring any custom applications too. Now let's jump into the demo. Let's log in with Scott as admin persona and see how to configure and use single sign-on within IBM Security Verify. Let's go to Authentication Identity Providers section. Here, the default identity providers for IBM Security Verify, the Cloud Directory and IBM ID are listed. In addition to this, you can select to add new identity providers, which would include SAML Enterprise, OIDC Enterprise, and any other social identity providers. The identity provider is configured. Next step is to onboard a new application for single sign-on. This could be a custom application or one of the 500 plus out-of-the-box applications supported by IBM Security Verify. For now, let's select to add a new Salesforce application. Select the add application. Let's fill in the basic connection details like host name and company name. And let's go on to single sign-on tab to provide SSO specific configurations. First up is the assertion consumer service URL to be copied over directly from the target. We can also choose to have the name identifier to match the users in ISV with the target accounts. And then we can also use the just-in-time provisioning if you want to use that feature, and other attribute mappings between IBM Security Verify users and the target application accounts. We can also select different access policies if we intend to use multi-factor authentication. IBM Security Verify does support multiple different ways to configure the multi-factor authentication as well. So now let's use the default policy and save the application. You can also select all users in the system to do a single sign-on to this application, or we can select a specific set of users or groups. For now, let's go with all users for using this application for single sign-on. And that's our application ready. Now let's go to the service provider initiated flow, wherein user logs on to the Salesforce application login page, and he selects the identity provider as IBM Security Verify, and he logs in with the IBM Security Verify credentials to seamlessly get on to accessing the Salesforce application. So as you can see, with IBM Security Verify credentials, the user is authorized to navigate to the Salesforce application homepage. Now let's talk about another flow, which is identity provider initiated single sign-on. For this, let's log into IBM Security Verify with the end user credentials. When the user has the access of the Salesforce application, that application would be presented to the user on the IBM Security Verify launchpad, from where just at a single click, user can directly navigate to the application homepage without any additional credentials. So this completes both service provider initiated and identity provider initiated single sign-on flows, which you can achieve through IBM Security Verify.